Hello, welcome to Michelle Sews again. I'm Michelle. Today I'm going to share with you a little bit about Project Dress a Girl 2024. If that sounds interesting to you, then please stay tuned. First of all, I have a question for you. How many of you that are watching this video have never heard of Project Dress a Girl? I'm very interested to know if it's been able to fly by anybody that's in the sewing community. I feel like everybody knows about it already, but let me know in the comments if this is your first introduction. So Maddie from Maddie Sews, she's a good friend of mine that I actually had the privilege of meeting through this YouTube community, is the mastermind behind Project Dress a Girl. And I encourage you to go check out her channel. I will link it in the description box below. She's just recently done a video about the origin story of why she got involved with Project Dress a Girl, why she created it and all that. And this is year 4. So it's very exciting. I've been a part of it from the beginning, and it's just so rewarding to watch it grow and grow and grow every year. But before we jump into what I've made, I have 2 little girl dresses that I'm going to share with you and talk about the patterns. But before we get into that, I would love for you to watch this little video clip from Maddie that talks about the do's and don'ts. And please pay attention to what it is that she's saying, because we don't want you to go to all the effort of making a dress and then it doesn't fit in the guidelines. So here's Maddie.
I'm Maddie from Maddie Sews, and I'm the founder of Project Dress a Girl, the month-long event where we all sew dresses for girls living in extreme poverty. All of the dresses that we're making need to be able to slip over a little girl's head without any kind of fasteners, all except fabric ties and elastic. You can use those too. Now you can sew any size, up to a size 12, but please make sure that your fabrics are all natural fabrics. They can be a blend, so if you've got a blend that is mostly natural, that's okay. But do make sure that your fabrics are not sheer. And if you by chance happen to have a sheer fabric, go ahead and line that. And while we're talking about fabrics, let's avoid any of those cartoon character themes like Disney characters and the like. No words on your fabric, because we don't know where these dresses are gonna go and what language they speak. No country specifics like flags or holiday themes. And please, no pillowcases. Don't waste your precious sewing time making a dress out of a pillowcase that won't get donated. No one wants that to happen. Do include at least 1 pocket on your dress. The more the merrier. They're the perfect place to place your Project Dress a Girl label or your Dress a Girl Around the World label. My favorite place is to put it right on the little shoulder right there. You can get these labels right here, the Project Dress a Girl labels, over on my website. The sales from these labels do help with the event cost. Anything that is left over ends up getting donated to Dress a Girl Around the World. But of course, you can also use this label that you can get from Dress a Girl Around the World. And this year, I'm really hoping that we can hit that 7,000 mark, so that way we can help 7,000 little girls. We keep track of all of the dresses that are getting donated, which means that you, my friend, you need to let me know how many dresses you've made for a donation. And you can do that one of 2 ways. You can either post your picture on Instagram using the hashtag Project Dress a Girl 2024 and tag me at Maddie Sews for Curves. If you're not on Instagram, no worries. Just send me an email to projectdressagirl@gmail.com and my team will be happy to record your final numbers. Now, if you're wondering, well, Maddie, how do I actually collect these dresses? I've got you covered. You can either find a local ambassador who has opted in to receiving dresses from this event. And if you don't have a nearby ambassador, feel free to ship me your dress. If you have any questions or want any details, go and check out the kickoff video over at Maddie Sews. You can also send an email to me at projectdressergirl@gmail.com. And by the way, in case you haven't done it yet, make sure that you subscribe to this video right down there. Check out those little buttons down there. Subscribe, hit that bell, and turn on all of your notifications because you don't want to miss any of the amazing videos that this amazing YouTube creator is making for you. I mean, you really don't want to miss another dress, do you? So go and hit that subscribe button. Bye.
Okay, so I'm not going to regurgitate all the do's and don'ts since you just heard them from Mari. So I'm going to jump right into the dresses that I made. So the first one that I made is a pattern that was designed by Elisa from Thoughtful Creativity. She has actually designed a free pattern for you to use every year of this project. So this is her fourth design for us. So if you want to make all of her designs, then you can go and check out her video for this dress that I'm showing you now. And she has the links for all the previous iterations. So she uses her little girl as a model. So the sizes, she only makes one size, and the size grows every year with her daughter. So if you want to make, you know, I think this year is a 5 to 6. So if you want the 4 to 5, the 3 to 4, and so on, then just go and check that out on her channel. I have made all 4 of her free patterns, and she really does a great job making it very simple, easy, and it 100% follows the rules. So if you make it as designed, you are automatically following the rules of the project. All right, so here's my version. I've also posted this on Instagram, so if you follow me along on there. What I love about this is these pockets. Look how fun these pockets are. And I love the fact that this is such a great stash buster with all of the different, with the few different pieces. And even though there are several pieces, it still was super easy to tape together. She doesn't do this in copy shop form, so you have to print out your pattern, but it's such a little pattern that it doesn't, from somebody who, like me, who does not like taping my patterns together, it did not take long. And yeah, it's super cute. My stitching on the back piece was not so perfect, but I think it's not like super obvious. But I loved piecing together stuff from my scrap bin that I think coordinates really well. Make sure that you put the label on. My tip to you for putting the label on is to put it on the pocket before you attach the pocket. I forget that all the time. Luckily for both of these dresses, I remembered for the first time in a couple of years. So yeah, so I encourage you to go check out Elisa's channel. This is such a fun little dress. I would be excited to get this if I was a little girl. So I'm hoping that some little girl will love this. So this is some scraps from Spoonflower. This is one of my ice dye scraps. And this is some scraps from a linen tablecloth that I thrifted. And I just love all these colors together. And then for the bias tape, I just used bias tape that I bought off Etsy. I didn't make my own since I don't love doing that. However, with that said, on the next one, I did. All right, so that's dress 1. Dress 2 came to me out of nowhere yesterday morning. So today is Sunday. I'm filming on the day I'm loading the video, and Saturday, as I was going through my inbox and my emails, I am subscribed to a newsletter from I Think So. I think that's the name of it. SEW, I Think So. And they offer patterns from Mocha Baby and Kids, I think is the brand. I'm subscribed to their newsletter because they have a lot of bag patterns. And even though I haven't made any bags, I keep wanting to make bags. So I keep downloading patterns. In fact, when I downloaded this one, I downloaded 2 more bag patterns. Anyway, they had a new release of a little girl's dress. So I happened to click on it just to see what it looked like. And don't you know, it was perfect for Project Dress a Girl because it fits all the guidelines perfectly, and it's an easy peasy sew. So it's literally just a little tank dress with a pocket on the front. I mean, you couldn't get any easier than that. The pattern is for smaller sizes though. It is only for 3-month to 24-month sizes. So I made the 24-month size, and I mean, it's got the pocket already. It's part of the pattern. It slips over the head. There's no, there's no tie. Like, you can have ties, but there's like nothing to make this fumbly. It's, you use bias tape for the neck binding and for the arm side. I did use their pattern pieces to do that, and I used more of some remnant from an ice dye fabric that I made. This ice dye fabric I actually stretched over a canvas frame, and it's hanging in my office. So I made this one as artwork. And I used the same ice dye fabric to make the bias tape. And you couldn't have an easier pattern. It's just a little A-line tank style dress. Now, with that said, there were a couple of misprints in the pattern that I'll tell you about. The arm side bias tape pattern, you can see here, says to cut 1. Obviously, you need 1 for each arm. So I figured that out, and I cut 2, thankfully, so I didn't have to go back and recut. So I did that. And then within the pattern instructions, under facing the bias and step 3, it says to pin the bias tape around the neckline, right sides together, and then sew with a 5/8 inch seam allowance. I thought that felt big. I've never used that big of a seam allowance in a bias binding before, but I was following the instructions. When I had to go and then fold it over, I was like, oh, this isn't going to work. Now, I didn't unsew, I didn't unpick it. I just trimmed down what was on the inside, and then I folded it over and folded it over again and stitched it down, which worked out okay. However, when I went back and looked at the pattern piece does say 3/8 inch seam allowance. But once I have cut and I'm sewing, I'm not following directions off of a pattern piece. I'm following instructions off the written instructions. So I don't know about you. Those were the only 2 misprints I found. Neither one of them were so egregious that it screwed up my garment. So, it wasn't too bad. And then the directions for the armhole were fine. They said 3/8 inch. And then the only other thing, it's not a misprint, but something that I changed is the pocket actually comes, and I don't even think I bothered cutting it out. The pocket actually comes with a pocket facing piece. But with patch pockets like this, I always just do a double layer, sew them right sides together. I leave an opening on the bottom, then I flip it out and press it really tight, and then tuck the opening in and then top stitch it on. So I always do like a lined pocket, and I learned that from Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room. And if I can find that video where she does a tutorial on it, I'll link it in the description box. But it just makes for a really nice, clean pocket. You don't have to worry about, finished edges or anything getting caught on anything. It's just a nice, clean finish, and it's super duper easy. So I always do my patch pockets that way. So that's what I did here. The other thing that I think is really nice about this pattern, which is the same thing that I liked about the popover sundress from the pattern lines do not cross over. So if you didn't want to trace this out and make copies of each of the different sizes, you could just, but you want to make all the sizes because you want to make several for Project Dress a Girl every year, then you could start with the biggest size, then cut the pattern piece down, cut out the next size, then, and so on. So you can just cut out one size at a time by trimming down the pattern piece each time. The other thing that I loved about the way that they put this PDF together is that there are only 6 pages to print, and the way that they've lined up the pattern pieces, you only have to tape the first 3 together and then tape the second 3 together. You don't then have to tape the first 3 to the second 3, because all of these pieces are on 1, 2, 3, and all of the back pieces are on 1, 2, 3, and then the bias tape is at the end, so you can cut those out and tape them together after you've cut them out. So yeah, there's not as much fiddling with piecing the pattern pieces together, which I really love. I just did the size 24 because I was kind of in a hurry, but what my next step is going to be, I'm actually going to trace out all the sizes so that I have them permanent for my Project Dress a Girl go-to patterns. I really like super easy patterns. So I've got this one now in my arsenal. I will continue to make Elisa's every year because they're really cute. And I also like the popover sundress. So that one is really easy. Last year for the project, I made one of every size for that pattern. And if you're interested, I will link that video up here. One of the years before, I did a whole video on free patterns for little girls. I will link that video up here. I will also link all those videos in the description box below. So I hope that you're going to help us participate in Project Dress a Girl. Our goal this year is 7,000 dresses. So the first year, I think we got over 500 dresses. The second year, we got 2,500. The third year, we got over 5,000. And this year, our goal is 7,000. And I believe with all the people that I know that are participating, we are going to exceed that goal this year. So thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see what all of you make. Make sure that you use the hashtag on Instagram, Project Dress a Girl 2024, and then we can all see what each other has made. I'll talk to you later. Bye.